Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to give you guys my preview to Game 2 of the New York Knicks vs. Atlanta Hawks series, and this is going to be a crazy game at the Garden. As we know, we fell short to the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1, a game that I was at. It was heartbreaking, but we're moving on to Game 2, and we're going to talk about what the Knicks need to do, who needs to step up individually, what do we need to do collectively as a unit, defensively against Trae Young, and a lot of great things that the Knicks, I feel like, are going to do in Game 2. I have a lot of positive things to say. I know, like I said, we're coming off a heartbreaking loss, but the series is not over yet, and we got to take care of business in Game 2. Before I hop into this preview, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to Knicks Media, do not forget to smash that subscribe button. If you guys want to check me out over on Instagram and Twitter, you guys know where to find me at NYKnicks_media. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please do not forget to thumbs it up. With that being said, let's jump right in. Today, I got my brand new playoffs hat just shipped in. I don't know if you guys can see if it's focusing, but that says Playoffs 2021. It's a beautiful brand new New York Knicks New Era snapback hat. And this right here, we here. They gave this out for free at the Garden, so if you guys are going to the game tomorrow night, expect to get a free shirt. It's so nice. It got the big 15 on it. But hey, let's get straight into the game tomorrow night. I get anxiety thinking about it because we lost last game and it was disappointing, but it's not the end of the world because we got a 7-game series, and I think this is going deep. It might be Game 6, Game 7, on who's going to come out of this. It's going to be a war, guys, for the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for this war upcoming between the Hawks and the Knicks. So the first thing I want to talk about is Julius Randle. He had a very disappointing game against the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1 of the playoffs. 6 of 23 from the field, and just did not have it. He looked very nervous out there. I feel like he went out there and was just not used to having 15,000 people in the Garden. He got shell-shocked. He had a week off, and he just was not Julius Randle from 2021. He's not the most improved player that we saw all season long that night against the Hawks, and he needs to bounce back. And I said in my preview video about the entire series that how is Julius Randle going to handle being the #1 option that the Atlanta Hawks game plan against? They're going to send double teams. We saw the defensive game plan for the Hawks against Julius Randle. That's Clint Capella shadowing Julius as the double team guy, and Julius obviously was rattled, and that defensive game plan really worked for the Atlanta Hawks. You got to tip your caps to them. They had a very good defensive game plan to shut down Randle, and he really did not have any easy looks at the basket. He shot a lot of jump shots where usually he hits those. Like Julius Randle all season hit those crazy fadeaway, impossible shots from the baseline, but those just were not falling. He hit his first step back three-pointer of the game, and then ever since that, he just did not have it. He hit a very clutch three-pointer. It's crazy because his two biggest shots of the game was like his first shot attempt in the first quarter, and then late in the game, he hit another step-back contested three-pointer to give us the lead late in the game, but then he bricked another one that was like a minute left. So Randle needs to step it up because without him, it's going to be hard for us to pull out these victories. And it's crazy how close we were with the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1 with our best player shooting 6 from 23 from the field. That tells you how deep our team is, where we had a guy like Alec Burks step up and drop 27 points off the bench. Derrick Rose, I feel like our bench really carried the team offensively, and we did not get the dub, obviously. But if Julius Randle played a normal game, averaging what he averages for the season, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, I feel like that game was a W. Julius Randle really thrived against the Hawks all season, but he struggled with them, and I feel like he's going to have a bounce-back game. So look out for Julius Randle to go off. I don't think he's going to drop a 30 bomb, but I definitely think he's going to have a way more improved game. And hey, I'm not going to count out a 30 bomb because remember, he averages 37.5 points per game against the Hawks in the regular season. I know the regular season, the playoffs, is a completely different animal because the intensity's up and all that great stuff, but I feel like Randle, he got used to it. He understood the pressure it is playing on the big stage of Madison Square Garden with 15,000 fans cheering, and he got to his first taste of the playoffs. I mean, that was his playoff debut, so expect Randle to have a bounce-back performance in Game 2. Next thing I want to talk about is our rookie, Immanuel Quickley, because this man needs to shoot the ball more. He lit it up in the second quarter for the New York Knicks when he came off the bench. Him and Obi Toppin. You got to give Obi Toppin just as much credit. It was awesome to see our two rookies just thrive in their playoff debuts as rookies in the Garden. Like, that was amazing. The moment where I was at the game and I saw Obi dunk on someone, and then I see him hit a three, and then I see IQ pull up from way downtown and drill it with confidence, and him just going crazy. It was a really surreal moment to be there witnessing that connection. Like, that's our future. Like, that's right now, and that's also the future. Immanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin. Obviously, RJ's part of the future. We got a lot of players on the team that are part of the future, but those are our rookies, and it was just really awesome to see them go off. So IQ, we need him to shoot the ball more because he only shot the ball twice from downtown. Both of them were from way beyond the arc, and he drilled them with confidence. And the Hawks were playing up on him where he did not get a lot of room to pop it for three, but he needs to let them fly. They need to run plays for IQ, whether that's him having the ball in his hands and he comes off a screen and pops it, or he moves off the ball, because that's what's so good about IQ. He can do both things. He can be the primary ball handler on a pick and roll, or he can be off ball, running around and trying to get open off a screen, off the ball, and he's open for three catch and shoot opportunities. So if I'm Thibodeau, I'm running a lot of plays for Immanuel Quickley because he's not afraid of the moment. You can see that he feeds off the Garden crowd. We have home court advantage during this series, and unfortunately we fell in game one, so we already don't have the advantage anymore. So we got to take care of business, and I think Immanuel Quickley is the key to an explosive performance. All you got to do is feed him the ball, run plays for him, give him the confidence, give him the freedom to shoot. And I'm not saying they didn't give him the freedom to, just I noticed he kind of shied away. Sometimes we had opportunity to shoot the ball, he just didn't, and he also drives to the rim and put up crazy floaters. He shot a 4 for 7 from the game. It's not like he didn't shoot the ball, but I'd rather see Immanuel Quickley shoot more than 7 times. I think you guys can agree with that. And I also want to see Obi Toppin get featured more pick and rolls, because if you can give Obi Toppin an open lane driving to the basket, you give him the bounce pass, you can see what he can do. He's a finisher at the rim, he's a high flyer, and he was playing with confidence, man. He shot the ball 3 times, one of them was a dunk, 2 of them were 3-pointers. He hit one of the 3, and that 3-pointer he hit was a thing of beauty. It was so smooth, catch and shoot, no hesitation, shot it with confidence, and he drilled that, swooshed it, and it was just awesome to see Obi Toppin, finally have that moment. And I feel like that was his welcome to the Knicks, because all year we know that Obi Toppin has been struggling, and he started off really poor, and then he's been trending upwards ever since the beginning of the season, in my opinion, getting more comfortable. But for him to just have those 2 buckets in that moment is awesome. So hopefully IQ and Obi Toppin can keep it up, and they can provide a big impact off the bench. The next thing I want to talk about is Reggie Bullock and RJ Barrett need to step up, because these are our 2 starters that did not really show up in game 2. RJ Barrett didn't have a terrible game. He had his traditional bad first half, and then he scored 9 points in the third quarter. One of them a poster of a dunk, absolutely obliterating him. That was probably the greatest moment that I've ever witnessed in sports in a long time. RJ Barrett completely bodying him. But what I'm saying is they need to get RJ the ball more in the fourth. I think he only shot the ball once in the fourth quarter, and that was when he posted up Trae Young down low, and he obliterated him. They did not feature RJ Barrett at all, but I wanted to see him get the ball in his hands late in the game. We saw the clutch gene from RJ all year long, and the three-pointer was not falling for him. He started off poor. He hit 1 3-pointer in the third quarter, and he finished 1 for 6 from downtown. So hopefully RJ can have a bounce-back game. He can get the jitters out of the way, because obviously there's a lot of pressure when it comes to playing at Madison Square Garden, and they are not used to this crowd. I mean, that was ridiculous, the crowd there. Like, they're not used to the pressure. They have not played with this type of crowd all year long, and it's an adjustment. And Obi Toppin said that he felt the ground shaking. So obviously RJ needs to step up, and Reggie Bullock's another player that needs to step up, because he was 0 for 5 from downtown last night, or Sunday night rather, excuse me. So he needs to hit his threes. We need Reggie Bullock to hit minimum 3 threes. I said it in my preview video about the entire series that low-key the X factor is Reggie Bullock. He needs to hit his 3-pointers, because he brings us so much value on the court, and if he's not playing well on the offense, then he's not going to get the minutes, and we need him on the floor because his defense is that valuable. Alec Burks was replacing him, and I'm okay with Alec Burks because he played phenomenally, and I'm going to get into him later on. But Reggie Bullock and RJ, those are the 2 starters that needs to step up. The bench carried the squad on offense. We had Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Immanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin. Like, those 4 guys played the best on the offensive side of the ball. Reggie was, I think, 3 for 9. RJ was 6 of 16 or something like that, and Randall was 6 of 23. So the starters need to step up. So the next thing I want to talk about is Elfrid Payton, because that's the other starter who played 8 minutes, and there's a lot of rumors and speculation that Mark Berman's coming out with, saying that Thibodeau did not sound committed to starting Elfrid. Is he going to make an adjustment? Who knows? But I just don't understand the point of having Elfrid Payton start the game if you're going to pull him within 3 minutes and you give him literally 8 minutes of playing time. Why is he the starting point guard? If you're starting in this league, you're not playing 8 minutes in a game. That's all I have to say. I'm not saying I'm not hating on Elfrid Payton, but if Tom Thibodeau is not comfortable with him on the floor, why is he starting the games? Because I know everyone's going to say, well, it's not how you start, it's about how you finish. And I agree with that because, look, he's not playing crucial minutes in this for this team. It's Derrick Rose all the way. But I just don't like putting in Elfrid Payton to start the game. We pull him within the first 4 or 5 minutes, and then Derrick Rose plays the entire rest of the first half. That's exactly what happened against the Hawks in Game 1. D Rose played 37 minutes. I preferably would have Frank Ntilikina play Elfrid Payton's minutes. And that's not a lot. I'm not saying Frank needs to get 20 minutes per game at all. Literally 8 to 10 minutes. If he can start the game and then Frank comes out when D Rose comes in, I feel like Frank would provide at least some type of impact of the game. I know that Frank got into the game and he got crossed up against Trae Young when it mattered the most. And that's when Tom Thibodeau looks like he's going to utilize Frank. That's literally, he subbed him in at the end of the half. Same scenario as the game-winning shot. There was like 5 or so seconds left, and he subbed in Frank to lock down Trae Young, and he actually got the stop in that possession, and it worked. And then he subbed in Frank for the second time in the game with 10 seconds left with the game on the line, and Frank got absolutely crossed up. I'm not gonna sit here and say Frank did not get crossed up and did not give up the game-winning shot. He literally was ice cold off the bench. I don't know about that. I don't know if you can trust somebody who has been ice cold sitting on the bench the entire game and just like, all right, most important part of the game, Frank, you go lock up Trae Young, who's been cooking us all game. And that Frank just got literally crossed up. But I feel like if Frank can get a little more minutes throughout the game and then you throw him in, I feel like it might have been a little different scenario, but you never know. Long story short, do I think Elfrid Payton's going to get benched? I don't see it. I don't really buy it. I think Elfrid's going to get his same start to the game. I don't understand the philosophy behind it, if you're asking me. I wish Elfrid Payton can actually play well when he's on the floor, put pressure on the rim, hit his floaters in the paint, and dish it out, but he's just not doing that. Next thing I want to talk about is Nerlens Noel. He is going to be questionable with a sprained ankle. Hopefully he can be playing because that will be a big blow. Taj Gibson said today in practice that Nerlens looked like his own self. He looks fine. He expects him to play, but you never know. Hopefully they can look at his ankle tomorrow and he's all set to go because he's a big part to this defense, especially with Trae Young just penetrating the paint with any means necessary. And then the bench I want to talk about just as a whole, even though I went over all of them, Alec Burks deserves some love in this video because that man carried the squad in the fourth quarter, 18 points in the fourth. So can Alec Burks continue that type of play? We don't need him to put up 27 and 18 in the fourth, but I would love to see 18, 20 points from Alec Burks off the bench. He's our closer. Hopefully he can be consistent throughout the series because that would be huge. So look out for Alec Burks. He literally does not have a weakness to his game. He can be the primary ball handler. He's a playmaker. He can hit the jump shot. He can attack the rim. He can play solid defense. So Alec Burks is very valuable on this team, and hopefully he can continue that throughout the series. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the defensive game plan on Trae Young and the pick and roll because that was eating us alive all game. It's either we play up on Trae Young and don't allow him to shoot the ball from downtown, and then we get screened, and then he goes around, and then it's either he puts up the alley-oop to Capella or he puts up a floater, and we did not defend it well at all. I'm expecting Thibodeau and the coaching staff to make their adjustments on that type of play because there's no way that we're going to let them do that for the rest of the series. I'm sorry. Tom Thibodeau and the coaching staff saw what the Atlanta Hawks came at us in Game 1, and they're going to adjust. I feel like this was the type of game plan that the Knicks needed to see. They needed to see what the Hawks are going to bring us, and vice versa. Hawks are going to do the same thing. They saw our game plan. They're going to game plan against it, but that's what makes the playoffs so unique. Guys, the series is not over. This game is a must-win. We need to take care of business on our home floor and go to Atlanta with the series tied 1-1. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the series, how you're feeling in general. Let me know if you guys stayed until the end of the video. I know this is a longer one, but I wanted to talk about Game 2 of the NBA playoffs with the New York Knicks going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. That does it for this video, and let's go Knicks. Let's get this dub. I got confidence in our guys. I really feel optimistic about Game 2 going in our favor, and I'm saying that with a lot of confidence. Let's go Knicks. Peace out, guys.